Why are we more connected than ever, yet feel more alone? And how many people are in your phone's contact list? 100, 500, maybe even 1,000? Now, here's the harder question. If your life fell apart tonight, how many of those people would actually show up at your front door? We've never had more ways to communicate: text messages, FaceTime, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Discord, and the list goes on and on and on. Yet, somehow, millions of people have never felt more alone. Welcome to the Verify Radio Show. Today, we're talking about the loneliness epidemic. For a long time, we believed loneliness was something that happened only to seniors: someone whose spouse had passed away, someone living alone, someone forgotten. But research is telling us a different story. Loneliness isn't just affecting older adults, it's affecting teenagers, university students, young professionals, new parents, single adults, caregivers, people working remotely, and even people surrounded by others every day. You can be sitting in a crowded restaurant, working in a busy office, living in a full house, and still feel completely lonely. That's because loneliness isn't about how many people are around you. It's about whether you feel seen, understood, and genuinely connected. The World Health Organization now recognizes social connection as a major public health priority. Their latest report estimates that about 1 in 6 people worldwide experience loneliness, and the highest rates are often found among adolescents and young adults, not older adults as many people assume. The report also highlights that loneliness affects physical health, mental well being, education, employment, and even longevity. Think about that. The generation with the most technology, the fastest internet, the most social media may also be one of the loneliest generations. Why, you may ask? I don't think there's one single answer. Part of it is social media. We compare our ordinary lives to everyone else highlighted reels. We mistake followers for friendships, likes for love, views for validation. But when the phone goes dark, many people discover they don't actually have someone to call. Another reason is busyness. We've become expert at saying, I'm too busy, will work overtime, answer emails at midnight, scroll our phones for hours, but somehow struggle to make time for coffee with a friend. Relationships don't disappear overnight, they slowly fade through neglect. There's another group we don't talk about enough: men. Many men have been taught to be providers, problem solvers, protectors, but not necessarily emotionally open. Some men have friendships based on activities: watching sports, working together, playing golf, fishing, but very few have someone they can honestly say, I'm not okay. That silence can become incredibly lonely. Then there are mothers and caregivers, people who spend every day taking care of everyone else, making lunches, driving kids, looking after aging parents, supporting spouses, helping coworkers, giving, 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 and more giving, until one day they realize nobody has asked them how they're doing. Loneliness doesn't always come from being alone. Sometimes it comes from feeling invisible. Young adults also face unique pressures: housing costs, student debt, career uncertainty, moving away from family, building new friendships in unfamiliar cities, trying to have it all together before turning 30. No wonder so many feel disconnected. So, what can we do? First, reach out. Don't wait until someone is in crisis. Send the text, make the phone call, invite someone for coffee. Connection often begins with one small act. Secondly, put the phone down occasionally. Real conversations are still one of the best medicines we have. Third, find community. Volunteer. Join a sports league. Attend a book club. Visit your local library. Go to church if that's meaningful to you. Take a class. Shared experiences create lasting relationships. And fourth, be willing to be honest. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is, I've been feeling lonely. You may be surprised how many people quietly reply, Me too. Finally, if loneliness has become overwhelming, talk to someone, a trusted friend, a family member, a counselor, your family doctor. Ask Asking for help isn't weakness, it's courage. I have 5 messages for anyone feeling lonely. Number 1, loneliness is a feeling, not your identity. Feeling lonely doesn't mean you're unlovable or destined to stay that way. Second, one meaningful friendship is often more valuable than hundreds of online followers. Third, take the first step. Many friendships begin because someone had the courage to say, Would you like to grab a coffee? Fourth, serve others. Volunteering and helping in your community often creates genuine human connection while giving you a sense of purpose. And five, protect your mental health. If loneliness is persistent and begins affecting your sleep, mood, work, or hope for the future, reach out to a healthcare professional. You don't have to carry it alone. And in closing, I just want to leave you with this. Maybe the greatest gift we can give someone isn't money or advice or even our opinions. Maybe it's our presence, a phone call, a visit, a conversation without distractions. Because at the end of the day, people rarely remember how many followers they had. They remember who showed up. So today, I want to leave you with one question. Who in your life might be waiting for someone to simply ask, How are you really? Perhaps after today's show, that someone could be you. This is the Verify Radio Show, where we don't just talk about what's happening in the world, we talk about what matters in our lives. Verify fam, before I close off today's segment, I want to look at a few more things before I go. And one of the things that I want to look at is who is experiencing loneliness the most. And it wouldn't be a Verify radio show if I didn't leave with some questions. Plus, I have some sources and resources that I want to leave with you, right? So, who is experiencing loneliness the most? One of the biggest misconception is that loneliness mainly affects older adults. Recent evidence paints a different picture. Young people ages roughly 13 to 29 report some of the highest level of loneliness globally, and young adults navigating school, careers, housing costs, and social media pressures are particularly at risk. Men are the focus of growing discussion because many report having fewer close friendships and are often less likely to seek emotional support, though loneliness affects all genders. The evidence suggests it is a broad public health issue rather than one confined to men. Other groups at increased risk include caregivers, newcomers, people with disability, those living alone, and people experiencing financial hardship or major life transitions. Verify fam, Here are my questions for today's segment. When was the last time someone asked you, how are you really? And do you think social media has made us more connected or more lonely? Why? As a mother or caregiver, have you ever felt lonely even while surrounded by your family? Men often say that they're expected to be strong. Do you think that expectation makes it harder for men to admit when they are lonely? Verify fam, I need to hear from you. This topic I think is very important for us to explore. And I think um, as individuals, we need to look into some of the demographics that I mentioned in terms of those experiencing loneliness the most. One, young people ages 13 to 29, young adults who are navigating different areas of their life, and men alongside caregivers, newcomers, people with disability, those living alone, and people experiencing financial hardship, or those going through major life transitions. Verify fam, here are the resources that I want to leave with you. You can take, some time out of your day to look into these resources and get some more information on the impacts of loneliness within our societies, right? So the World Health Organization, they have a number of research reports and practical information on loneliness and social connection. I believe this one came out in 2025. So they look at a comprehensive global report on the health impacts of loneliness. Then there is the Public Health Agency of Canada. They have a number of resources on mental health and different support programs that they offer through this agency. So you can look into these resources. Verify fam, loneliness is affecting all of us. And so if you are feeling lonely, reach out to someone.